Hey, YouTubers, what is up? This is Bloodseek, and I got another flawless game for you guys. It gets kind of boring at the end because I realized, oh shit, I'm gonna get a flawless game here. So I kind of camp a bit. But this is a good example of team communications because there's one guy on my team's like, guys, coming up on the right. Guys, come up on the right. So like, as I was in this building, always knew when someone was coming up from behind me. But I didn't stay in this building the whole entire time. I actually go in like the enemy spawn and spawn camp them and you know all the other stuff. But guys, this video is I want to talk about my first boobies. The first time I ever saw boobs. Okay, now Alex, as he likes to be called, made a video how he walked into the girls' locker room and he saw a bunch of boobs and like naked chicks, and I was just like, you know, I should probably tell the story where I saw my first boobs. And it's not okay. The story's not really about the boobs part. It's about something else, but I'll get to that. All right. So when I was about 13 years old, we were at a place called Six Flags Hurricane Harbor, and that is a water park. And me and my best friend at the time were in the Lazy River, and the Lazy River is like a river that goes around the whole entire park. And we just get in, and I like start swimming in the water, and I get up, and my friend goes, "Hey, look at that chick, she's really hot." And I look up, like as I'm like getting the water out of my eyes, because I just came from underneath the water. As I get the water out of my eyes, I look up, and one of her guy friends, it's her and like 3 guys. One guy pops her top piece of the swimsuit, and it was like slow motion. Like, it just, when it popped off, it just fell into the water, and she was like, "Ah!" But she never like covered up her boobs. And this girl she was probably like 23 at the time. I was 13. She had like nice big boobs, nice stomach, and I just looked at her and I was just like it was like exactly how it would happen in a movie. And me and my friends see this, and we're just like we're just like dumbfounded, like yeah. And she goes, "Oh my god, I can't believe you did that." And she she doesn't cover up her boobs at all. She walks up and she grabs her swimsuit and she goes, "There's 2 little boys here. Why don't you do that in front of them?" And still not covering up her boobs. And we're just looking at them. And then she's like, turns back to one of her guy friends, or I guess boyfriend. She's like, "Help me put this back on." And we're just at like the whole entire time we're just staring at her. And she doesn't say anything to us. We're just staring at her boobs. It was probably, it felt like, you know, 2 hours just looking at him. But it was probably 30 seconds. But, like, the rest of the day was crazy because, you know when you're 13 and you see a nice pair of tits, let's just say you're a little, I don't know what I could call it, yeah, I guess you have a boner. And me and my friend, we're on the Lazy River, and we're talking about, "Oh man, like I saw boobs, like so cool." And we can't get out, you know, for obvious reasons. And we never mention it to each other, you know, we can't get out because of this. Because usually you take the Lazy River to get someplace else quicker and funner. But we're taking this Lazy River, and we're in there for about 30 minutes, and then my friend's like, "Hey man, let's get out." And I was like, No, dude, no, I can't get out. This is fun. Let's just keep on swimming. Maybe we'll see some more boobs. And he's like, whatever. He's like, "She's gone. Let's go ride this ride." I'm like, "No, dude." He's like, "Okay." And then I'm in there for about another like 20-30 minutes, and he's like, "Hey dude, let's go do something." And I'm like, "I can't." And he's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "I have a boner." And he's like, "Still?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh shit, okay, well let's wait." So we like waited there for about 10-15 more minutes, and he's like, okay, now let's. The plan was to like we'll get in like to where our stuff was at, like our table. So okay, let's go and let's get off next to that and go set it at our table. And I was like, okay. And as I'm getting out, we get out. Luckily, there's nobody there. And we're getting out, and he turns around, and then he pushes me back in. And he's like, dude, you can't get out. And I'm like, why? He's like, it's obvious that you have a boner. Like, you can tell very easily. And I'm like, oh shit. And so we stay in the lazy river for a while, and I still can't, because you know when someone goes, do not get a boner, or you're trying to get rid of a boner, you can't do it. So it just lasts longer and longer and longer. So I'm probably in there for another 20 minutes, and we're like, okay, we went around again. I'm like, okay, let's get out, and I'm gonna make a sprint for our table, and hopefully nobody will see. So we get up, and I get out, and I start sprinting as fast as I can. And then a lifeguard goes, hey, you two, stop running. And at Hurricane Harbor, they can actually kick you out if you're running. So I just like plop down and start sitting down and like put my hands over my dick, pretend like, you know, like covering it up. And like just he kind of looked at me weird. So he's like, stop running. I just sat down and he walked away. And then my friend was like, okay, come on. So we got up and we started running again to our table. And we sat down at the table for probably about 45 minutes until it finally went away. I mean, there's nothing you could really do. I couldn't, you know, go in the bathroom and polish my Johnny, as I like to call it. But yeah, so finally get rid of it. We enjoyed the rest of our day. And I actually saw the chick one more time, but luckily I was able to keep her out of my mind until we left. And my mom was, we left, we waited in front for my mom to come pick us up. And there was like a pole, and I'm like hugging the pole. And my friend goes, you thinking about that chick again? And I'm like, yeah. It's like, you have a boner, don't you? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, how can you tell? It's like, because you're like really standing in front of that pole, like it's obvious trying to hide something. And I was like, oh. But that's my story about my first titties and my 2-hour-long boner that I had at a water park. This is Bloodseek. Please give me a thumbs up, please subscribe, and please comment. And if you like the story videos I have and want to hear more, let me know. This is Bloodseek, and I'm out.